This is Daughter of Christ. Today, I'll be telling you the story of a certain Muslim missionary and his struggles to prove the preservation of his Quran. Back when Yasir Qadhi's holds in the narrative revelations were at their peak, he rose up to defend the honor of the now debunked perfect Quran preservation narrative. He claimed that the Quran reading of all Muhammad's companions was the same, and he even shamed us with a screenshot saying the same thing from a book he was reading. When we asked for a reference for this statement, he was so confident in the book he was reading that he provided the reference from the footnote of the page. Here, he even types in the chat for more clarity. The reference is from Al-Suyuti's book, Al-Itqan fi Ulum al-Quran, Volume 1, page 177. We were so impressed by this valiant show of evidence, since we rarely get Muslims quoting specific references with volume and page, that we had to honor and check that reference. He also kept pushing us with messages flaunting the big name of Suyuti that is lending proof to his statement. And here is what we found. Al-Suyuti, Al-Itqan fi Ulum al-Quran, Volume 1, page 177. It was actually a chapter talking about how the companions disagreed over the last verse of the Quran. During the time of Abu Bakr, some claimed it was Surah 2 verse 281, while Ubay said it was Surah 9 verse 128 and 129. So the reference given by Abbas to show how the companions agreed showed their actual disagreement on the Quran. We could not believe this irony, and we presented this evidence to Abbas in a stream called Abbas's Swiss Cheese Party, showing him that the reference he gave proved the opposite of his statement. Then came the excuse that the Suyuti's book may have been a different edition.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I just like to say, look, she put her side and she bring evidence. I don't know if her evidence matches the quote I gave because the references I got is second edition. So I don't know if she's reading the second edition or the first edition. I don't know. I'll double check, and if I'm wrong on that, I will say, okay, I'm wrong on that. So I don't think she completely proved me wrong yet.
Why would Suyuti talk about something in one edition for it to be removed in another edition? But anyway, we waited for proof from Abbas for the imaginary edition that he was talking about, and then silence for months and months and months. Then came the frantic retractions. It turns out the initial reference given was not correct, even though it was from Abbas's own mouths and his book's footnote that he himself provided us. Just like the narrative of the Quran, Abbas's narrative changed yet again. So what happened? Why did Abbas provide the wrong reference? Well, Abbas actually didn't misquote the book. He gave the exact footnote reference that was in the book. So who wrote that book? Who lied to Abbas along with other Muslims about the reference and made him spend months retracting it? The book is called Mizan and is written by this man, Javed Ahmed Ghamidi, a contemporary scholar from Pakistan. We found out why he provides false references. He's well known among his own peers to be unscrupulous, and even received death threats for unacceptable interpretations of Islam, and has even been chased away from Pakistan into exile for this. So no wonder he provides faulty references. So why then do Muslim missionaries who have discovered his lies and have suffered because of them still call him the best scholar of Islam? No wonder they keep making false statements and keep retracting them. Now the new narrative is that it's another reference and yet another bold statement. According to Abbas, a person called Al-Sulami learned the Quran from Uthman and Ibn Mas'ud, who then gave it to Asim, who then gave it to Hafs, where we get the Hafs Quran today. This oversimplistic gold chain of transmission, this isnad, has the stamp of approval from Prophet Abbas himself, at least for now, pending further retractions, and again will graciously give him the benefit of the doubt and pretend that this isnad is correct, even though Ibn Mas'ud's Mus'haf had missing surahs which appear in Quran Hafs today. But what if the simple isnad is the solution to the Quran's doubtful narrative? A key person in this chain is al-Sulami. His full name? Abu Abdurrahman al-Sulami. According to this, according to Abbas, he recited the same Quran as the Hafs Quran Muslims recite today. So who shall we go to find out more, to find evidence for this? Let's go to al-Suyuti, since he's the one of the very few who have the stamp approval of Prophet Abbas himself. In Suyuti's book, Ad-Durr al-Mansur, volume 15, page 814 to 815, it was narrated that Abu Abdurrahman al-Sulami used to read to Muslims verses, here in the blue, that do not appear in the Hafs Quran today. Al-Sulami claimed that Ibn Mas'ud and the Prophet used to recite those verses. Any Muslim who can read Arabic, have a look at the verses in the blue box. They say, "O Allah, we seek help and forgiveness from you. We praise you. We don't disbelieve in you. We believe in you. We disown and leave whoever denies you. We worship you. We pray and prostrate to you, and seek you earnestly. We hope for your mercy and fear your torture. Your torture will befall the disbelievers." Abbas, these were the verses recited and taught by your beloved Al-Sulami, a key person in your golden chain of Quran transmission. Do you find any of those verses in your Hafs Quran today? For the non-Muslims who don't have the time or patience to read the Quran, I can tell you, the answer is no. Those verses do not appear in the modern Hafs Quran today. So how can we trust this chain you speak of, with this information from the very scholar you approved? Here is the latest episode in Abbas's story, his challenge to debate about the Mus'hafs of Ibn Mas'ud and Ubay. Even though in the first episode of his narrative, he claimed they were all reading the same Quran. But now he's saying they each had their own Mus'haf and wants to debate us about it. Oh, how the narrative keeps changing. So what's the conclusion to the story?
The standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.
Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's hope all Muslims get the memo.